Yeah. Good afternoon, everybody.
Good afternoon.
Yeah, sorry, today also we had to join via Zoom. So we couldn't have the physical meeting that we wanted. Hopefully next meeting, we hope that we'll be able to meet. Yeah. And shall we, I think everyone would have gone through the minutes. So are there anything, any matter, can anybody propose?
There is one place, small correction is needed. Actually, when I sent that, Gopalan has corrected. On page 3, Mr. Gopalan, on page 3,
yeah,
the second item in the year 2018 audited accounts, the balance payable to Norwegian Embassy was around 25.7 million, and in the proposed, you have to add the word draft accounts 2019. Because when you say accounts and draft accounts, big difference, no?
Yeah.
Make it draft accounts there.
Okay.
Anything else?
Subject to that? All of others, okay.
Okay, then you can propose subject to that. Can anybody say second?
Yeah, I'll second it.
Yes. Okay. We will go through the agenda. First, matters arising from the minutes. I won't be taking it each by now. Now, according to the agenda, it is the risk and sustainability first. So I would like Kirti for you to take the matters arising, address them, and then come up with your program. So then to save time.
Sure. Okay.
If you miss anything, we'll point out. Or anybody else,
Sure.
any director can.
No, I think my presentation covers whole that also. Can you see the screen? See the presentation on screen?
Yeah.
Yeah, we can see.
Okay. Then, so actually we had a meeting on the 26th with the Risk and Sustainability Committee members. Then what we discussed was the last time in the board we have discussed, that we have to relook at this the budgets, because we found, during the COVID time, the deficits are getting increased, even though we thought that we can break even. That we looked at. So these some of the old ones which are still pending. Also, I'm just adding all the time, because then until we finish, it's easier for any of the members to follow. Then this was done. This also going on. Actually, I spoke to the surveyor, Mr. Ganamini. He said he will give a call to Ajit and fix a time. I think probably next week, you all can go and do the valuation there. So then after that, we have done everything which we have to do with regard to the accounts of 2019-20. Then 2021 also, they can immediately start. And a special thanks to all the board members who has contributed 15,000 each, and which we have already paid to the accounting firm. Thank you for your great contribution at this hour. Then CEOs are up and running. Then this is also the last time one. They are also, what we have to do is, since we are on a still deficit, there is an area which we can, if we follow up, even the board members also support, so then we can get the revenue in the
He's on mute. He's on mute.
Then Gopalan, can you?
Yes.
We can't still hear Kirti. Kirti must be not knowing that he is on mute. We can't hear anything.
No, he must be about urgent call or something like that, because I'm sure he can hear our voice.
From which slide you could not hear me?
First slide,
First slide?
bottom part.
All right, okay.
Yeah,
Sorry about that. Then
latter part of it, yeah.
if there's anything, please tell me, disturb and tell me immediately, so then I can go back and do it. Yeah. Then Ajit, can you mute and speak? Yeah, at the meeting. Then this I mentioned, this is the audit still going on. With regard to this audit, the one thing was to get the valuation of the Kalutara property and the equipment and all that. So that is in the process. I spoke to the Mr. Ganamini, who the valuer. Ajit, you can contact him, or either I will ask him to contact you and give a time. So after that, you can fix a time with him and go and do that thing. And of course, thank you for all the members who have contributed 15,000. So that was a great help. So we paid to the audit firm, and they are in the process finishing the 2019-20 accounts, and then after that we can go for the 20 accounts also. Then CEOs up and running. So this is one area which we can increase the income if the secretariat plus the board members also can support a little towards this cause. Then with regard to this Industry 4.0, the second project, which is going to take place on the 4th November. So we send all the registered participants, we inform them, the second session, online session will be conducted on the 4th November. So they are very happy about that one. And, there is a huge interest from some of the companies, which they are really like this idea. There is a great potential, and I think we have to look at from the FCCISL point of view on this subject. What can we do in the future to make some revenue for FCCISL as well? Then this is something which I proposed last time at the chairman's meeting. So which we can do is a trade policy, the rationalization of tariff structure. That's a big issue. So we don't know really what kind of items we should have, more tariff, less tariff, and we are having an industrial policy also. Same time, they are discussing, actually that's on the table almost. So if there are differences, though, this is a good time to discuss this thing. And even on the last GSP seminar, ambassador, the European embassy, Danish, also mentioned this one. So since we don't have consistency and policy, so there are issues can take place with regard to GSP. Now today, of course, there was another seminar on GSP. He addressed there also. I think this will be a good topic to discuss. The model what I am proposing is Trade Minister or DG, Department of Commerce, to make a keynote. Then speakers, and we can have a panel. Like I'm just proposing people like Premarat Natukorala, who's he's also a professor, a very reputed person. Then Dayaratna Silva, we can get the theoretical part and the international side. Then people like Mr. Vijayavardhana, then Professor Rohan Samarajiva, and Anushka, also a good person because he has a lot of experience during the previous government time also on this area. So therefore, if we create a common interest with everyone, so then there will be better participation. Then if we have any recommendation proposal from the participants as well as from the panel, we can submit to the Minister of Commerce and the Ministry. Then this is something new. Actually, even I could not mention about this one at the last chairman's meeting. So this has coincidentally happened. This has happened only yesterday. Actually, this lady, Professor Janita Lienage, is the current ambassador in Russia. So there was a congratulation message sent by the alumni, and while I was congratulating, I told the FCCISL can organize a webinar, and we can get all the business people who's working with Russia, and of course people like EDB and all that also can bring in. Then I just mentioned this to the person who sent the message to discuss with her. She herself sent a message saying, Kirti, I am there, we will do it, I'm happy to come for an event like that. To see, she had already gone to Russia. I said we need about 10 days to generally, plan a good one. Then she said no issue, since she's there, can plan it anytime and let her know. So there, what I'm proposing, the model is to get the minister to make a keynote, because now since we are talking about the policy and all that. Then speakers and presenters, this Professor Janita can speak as the ambassador there. Then after that, we will get a panel with EDB officers, Department of Commerce officers, and 1 or 2 exporters to Russia. So then sponsors can be actually alumni. They will come as a sponsor, since this I also picked up from there one. And of course, as I mentioned previously, we can take a few companies to sponsor this kind of events. Then we can make some revenue, since there is no big cost to the federation for this kind of things. Then help desk thing is going on. Ajit, you have to follow up, and if there are more people in the paint sector, plastic sector, and rubber, you can send their names, so they let them select and support. I spoke to Mr. Senapides. He said if there are more people, few more is no issue. Since this one of their initiative, who are the senior members of EPSL is doing this one, they can even, if they find they were worthwhile to handle this with them, they will handle even a bigger number. There is no issue. So then our role will be here to get more people there. So then after that, they will do the coordination. So then the other projects, so these are the ones, this we need registration. This project also I explained. Then again, we can get ready, Ajit, with the member chambers, especially in the area of, as I mentioned, around Me Oya and Kalaniganga. They are to fully actively involved. So then what happens is they can get the benefits. They can be part of this project, as well as they can get the benefits to their chamber members. So that will be an additional advantage for their chambers as well. Then this also something, we are doing little by little. Still we have difficulties in the finance area. Then this also, we have done that, we have paid the money for that. Then these are the positives, that we have few projects going on. Then CEO thing, we can get little more money. So we have discussed at the last meeting. I think Saranga can give more details of that one. His project also with the World Food contribution, that they are supporting members will come to this website. So then what we propose is to have, the Ajit also mentioned, since there is no prominent companies or other established companies are there, so then others don't want to join. So what I propose was to give them a free 6 months or some time period free of charge. Then after that, we can slowly charge little by little and get more revenue to the FCCISL. Then the negatives when you study, we found still there is about 150,000 to 300,000 per month. There is a deficit because income is less and expenditure is more. So therefore, we had to bridge this gap. So I will show you in the new cash flow. You can see that one we have worked out. We had a lengthy discussion with Ajit, Jeevani, everyone, and the Risk and Sustainability Committee members. Then from the webinars also, if you can make about, say, different companies can pay differently, give a little bit more members, more. I mean, if the people want to, we can ask, start the event about 15-20 minutes before and start playing their advertisements and things like that with a welcome slide. So then they also get some mileage for the money what they're paying. So this what I had to present. Am I to present the Shirley, can I go ahead and present the cash flow also? Accounts.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, I would like to, yes.
So can you see this screen also? The Excel sheet?
We can't see it. It's kind of black,
Wait a minute.
Now.
Can see? No, I will stop share this one and restart. Now you can see, no?
Yeah, now can see.
Okay. So here, up to here, these are the actual situation. So there we found, finally, we have accumulated loss about 912,000. It's coming from the previous year, but up to now, up to this situation, that is the loss. So then, so these are the revenue areas. So what we have marked here in this yellow is, some of the programs which we can do, arbitration program. So this we have to discuss. Probably Ajit can mention, when can we start the paper supplement thing. Still, I think too early to start that one. Still with this COVID situation, still people do not advertise much, or rather do not buy papers also sometimes. Then manager.lk. So we had to somehow create this also to a money making place. So then our income will can increase, and actually CEO income also we can mark here. So this has come down drastically, but in the past, we had a good revenue out of this one, which we can generate again. So when you go to the bottom lines, this is the situation. So there we found, the gaps in between is like, the expenditure is also has come down in certain items, but not major, like electricity, water, rent, and that kind of things has come down, and staff welfare and things like that, because since the office was closed during this time. But other than that, once you start, those also will go up. Anyway, we find, as I mentioned in my presentation, about 150,000 to 300 gap. This we have to find. Towards the end, if we go to the end, finally we will have about 1.4 million loss for the entire year if we go on this basis. But if you come up with new projects, and if we can get, this is the real picture of what it can happen. Now, these are some of the notes which we have put in here. There are some monies to be collected also with regard to the last entrepreneur awards and things like that. So that can compensate to some extent these ones when that income comes. So other than that, these are the other expenditures which we have to incur and have to do in the future. Then accounts, I think we have circulated. there, of course, if there's anything, I can take it up there also. Do you want me to go through this also, or if you have any questions, will you raise? And I will answer only that.
Any other directors, can you please let me know whether you all want that also to go through?
I will briefly just describe here also on the profit and loss. The major ones, which was affecting their income is business traveler. During the COVID time, no business traveler. Therefore, it was. But according to Ajit, he says, at least one or two now can be done, because the travel is opening up, and some countries need some kind of recommendations and all that. So therefore, there is a possibility. Then certificate of origin income has come down drastically by -64. So this can be improved. This is an area which we have to work fast. Then boardroom hiring also, we thought that we can generate some income. So this is also another loss income. This also, when the COVID is over, but it will take a little time to pick up. Then balance sheet, of course, there is no major changes as such. Then these are the ones which we have to collect, the Colombo Stock Exchange and Asia Foundation with regard to this last event. Then Nippon Paint, these two also we have to check and see whether is there any possibility to collect. So these are our current liabilities which we have to pay out. This also, like Mr. Gopalan and all that, we should be thankful to him, because he is still not making a big fuss. But of course, we have to be mindful. If someone is not making a fuss, we should not delay. But I am, of course, I will try to get you at least release more money part by part as fast as we get some revenue. So these are the other ones. So these are some of the items like Q&E, advertising and all that. So these also we have included. These are coming from the current ones. These we don't have to pay. This is paid by the World Food Program to design the new packaging and all that, which Ajit explained last time. So these are the ones. Then another area which we have to discuss is the membership dues. We find that during the meeting, towards the end or whatever, you can take it up, President. I think some there is a very ad hoc way of collecting membership dues. I think membership dues is to my knowledge, that every member has to pay. If some member is not paying, he is no member to me. But the thing is, there are difficulties at times, when we have COVID and all that. But now, when you see the list, you find, during the COVID as well as previously also some chambers has not paid. So therefore it has gone as a practice. This is something the board has to take a decision, board has to discuss. And so this also came up on the last slide. So I will stop at this.
Thank you, Kirti.
Yeah.
Thank you very much. And where finances are concerned, I think we have really improved, thanks to you and the office. And regarding the membership thing, shall I take it at the strategy? They also we had discussed. Okay. I will take it up at the strategy. Okay, okay. And then we will discuss what we decided at the chairman's meeting, and also my communications with Gopal and all that. I'll take it up at the strategy. Okay. So thanks. Any questions from anybody regarding Kirti's presentation? Finances.
Shirley, I think Kirti always make a great presentation. Thank you, Kirti.
Thanks.
I don't, I would like at the moment, because we are on Zoom, we tend to get distracted and many things, which is a natural fact when you have a long meeting. Interest of us to read everything and be prepared for the board meeting. Is there any way you can share all three: strategy, risk, and our PR, whether they can share their documents so that we can read and understand better by the time we come in for a meeting? I mean, today you gave a super presentation, but it might be good if we can understand.
Yes, yeah,
better.
sure. Yeah, can. I can
Just a
actually,
suggestion.
I can share all this with you all, no issue. I can.
Yeah.
No. What I felt is
understand.
if it is shared, then by the time we come for the meeting, we as responsible directors, we should read it and come. Then we can ask if there is any questions, and we can cut short the time instead of going for 2 hours or whatever.
I understand.
We can try and stick for more productive 1 hour of issues needed to be handled.
Yeah.
And because otherwise, when it's too long, as I said, it's become boring.
Understand.
Thanks, Keerthi, but the presentation is excellent.
Thanks,
right, Shirley, over.
Thank you. Yes, Rohit. I agree. Yeah, I think we should, because we have the 3 committee meetings earlier. So I think regarding at the strategy, I think what we discussed, I think 2 presentations Ajit had already circulated, I think. So
Hello.
that I think.
Hello.
Hello.
I have a couple of questions from Kirti. Can I go ahead, please?
Sure.
Go ahead. Yeah.
Yeah, Kirti, I think we discussed this at the last meeting, and we requested whether any possibility of for us to get the budgets for the 2 projects that we are doing and the expenses separately, and also we can compile into the main accounts, but we have a separate budgets, and then how we are progress. Because I just noticed, I don't know, I couldn't go through the accounts, to be very frank, properly. I just before the meeting, about 5 minutes before, I just glanced through.
Yeah.
And according to the August, your finances, now the WFP and S4IG program, your income had been about 760,000.
Yeah.
Sorry, your income around 749,000 and your expenses about 760,000.
Yeah.
So please, you got to look into that. That's why it's important for us to have the budgets. Actually, you should, risk and sustainability should have the budgets for any. Actually, we raised this point because after this Norwegian issue, and we said because it's very important for us to have the budgets before any project, to have the budgets, and also how we are expenditure also to accordingly, so that each and every board meeting also the risk and sustainability can present that. So there's a more clarity and it's quite open if you can do that. So just look into that.
Actually, now there are budgets like with regard to this SOIG and World Food. They have their own budget. We have a share when they have different events. We have, like, if they have a seminar or something like that, we are entitled to get some income. So like that it goes. It varies time to time. But the only thing is, when I am signing checks, I will see first whether the income is there. First, the money should be there. The next thing is whether within the budget. So if that is within the budget only, I sign. But when it comes to the our accounts, that income related to last month can come for this month. This kind of thing happen. But I think we will have 1 day meeting, and we'll clarify both these projects. We'll give a summary of the project altogether, what the budget, what the expenses up to now, and things like that. So we can get Jeevani also to that, and I think that's a easy way of doing that. Otherwise, it's a little difficult even for me to understand. Even Dhammika to understand, it's difficult. We had few meetings, and after that only the clarity came to us also.
Yeah, and I fully understand and of course appreciate your issue, Kirti, but of course it's in fairness to everybody, because since it's reflecting on our accounts, it's important for us to have that clarity. also the fact that we have had some issues in the past. So I think that's why. So we can have the master budget. Of course, I know when you're doing projects only, that your income and expenditure you have to balance accordingly. But at least basically we know what we intend doing, because they would have definitely have a master budget. No, this is what they are intend doing. Of course, this is the total the amount money they are going to spend, and this is the amount that will be recovering end of the day.
If we do,
so we
with regard to these two projects, if we do another Excel sheet and say up to now, what was the expenditure, what are the income, is that okay for you?
That's good enough. Yes, please. That's good enough. For
We'll
yeah.
do that.
So just separate that. No, you can have it in the, because you have to have it in your the accounts, but of course this you can separate and show separates better. That's one. And also number two is Kirti, I think we discussed with these auditors as well. Now, what is the status of the asset register? Because they also question about this the asset register, that we don't have one.
Yeah. No, we are using the one which we have done, or halfway it is done by one employee which we had. Ajit, you can explain that, no?
Yes, about the revaluation or the asset book, we had done it one, but it was not really a completed one. That's a fact. And we have requested certified valuer to basically take it up, but he said during the COVID and the shutdown that his inability to attend our work. But now I think even yesterday I had a chat with him. He has to give a date for him to go there with me and to do the proper valuation. I think after 2012, I think we have not done the proper valuation. That is why even auditors had put it as a qualification. So that will be done maybe in the course of this month. Definitely that too will happen. In the next board meeting, you will get Tusita what his remarks are, whether what he has to say.
Ajit and Kirti, I need to clarify something. When I handed over the accounts to you, we have already done a register, asset register, inclusive of things which we got. I think the final one when I was doing, what we got was donated of computers from Pakistan Embassy, all that up to that level, and whatever the stocks in the premises, we were only failed to do was what was in Kalutara, which they started and they said there is a lot to count, and then I gave it over to you at that stage. So I think from that up to that stage, we should be having records.
No, really, those the Pakistan, the government donations, all were there. Those had the right values. But the problem is, even we have the item wise, everything has been included in the asset register related to Payagala. Those values are, I think, has to be basically a cross check. But yes, those what we got during the later years about time from the Pakistan, the government, those have been basically properly included. Those amortization takes place according to that. There is no, even the auditors have not had come out with any comment on that, because that has been basically done. But all matters related to what related is basically it's about the asset set Payagal. That's the thing. So maybe the number of units all have been okay, but the asset, that unit value is something we have to cross check. That is, I think, to be done separately.
Yeah, basically, I think
so
basically, because any organization should have asset register, irrespective of, not true, the Payagala you are not done, but basically whatever we have, right, even in the office here or in Payagala, wherever the assets are, so we got to have the asset register. That is mandatory, in the accounting principles. So I think it's important that we need to get this anyway organized and have it in order, so that we'll not have any problem whenever any audit query at that time, we'll not have any issues, so just try to work towards that, if you can, please. Thank you.
Sure. Ajit, I spoke to Ganamini now. He said, the next week he will give you a date.
Okay.
and he will call you. Then after that, it can be done.
Pick it up from there.
Yeah. So then we will do from there. Once we have that one, we will complete the other register. But in the meantime, we have some, old furniture and some computers and all that. Some has to be depreciated also, and take it out from the books. So once it's done, I think we will have the real picture of the assets in the organization. I think we will do that.
Thank you, Katie. One more question. This for now, the COOs that we can issue right now.
Can.
Can you, because actually now I also can circulate to some of our exporters
Members, yes,
whom we are
yes.
working members.
Yeah.
If you can do a flyer, right,
Yeah.
in that introduction, the flyer, then I could circulate through our membership as well, so
Yeah.
that there'll be, and also I can personally promote among some of the tea exporters as well, because they were quite close to me, because we work with them very closely. So if you can have anything, any document like that for me to circulate, then I can help you with to get some business there.
Yeah.
Tusita, now I resent it to the entire board. It's a matter of just clicking on the e-fly and then get.
Now fly ka kewan Ajit, separate fly ka kewan.
Yeah, fly ka kewa mande. Wage balan ape board.
Then you would just now.
This was put also at when we launched it. But now again.
No,
but separately.
Just to click on that picture.
Okay, fine. I'll have a look at it. You send the WhatsApp, is it?
Yeah, WhatsApp.
Yeah, I saw it. Yeah.
Tusita, you can work on this one, this Russia thing, this tea exporters and all that. You can get
I saw that.
guys also activated. We'll do a good event. Probably you also can be a partner of the project or something like that. Ajit, there is a chance that we can make some money among the members itself.
Yeah, in fact, I also had a chat with them. I think they had the webinar with the Ceylon Chamber affiliated the Russia-Sri Lanka Business Council. Since I also know both Sudanta, who is my friend from grade 1, and I know the both of them very well. And she takes about to wait for 2-3 months until she settled down to hand over credentials, and also she is without the trade attached. There are some little thing happened, and she was withdrawn, and still Department of Commerce has not appointed anybody there. And product settled it takes about 2 months, at least 2-3 months. Then we can have a good one, no problem.
Now what happens is when she is free, we can do it. So after that, we can go on following up. Then she also can. Actually, she has no idea of trade or anything like that. She has to be been academic right throughout. He and Sudanta both, my friends also from university. So now what I feel is, if we start early, so then she can. Take our guys and support them.
Yeah, if they are okay, no problem. To the best of my knowledge, even the second council or third. Actually, I mean, by the time she went, it was empty. Only one guy, very junior guy from Foreign Ministry, was sent about 2 weeks back. So he is also new. Anyway, we'll have a communication with her, and we'll get the best date, and we'll do it as early as possible.
Okay, fine.
One more question. Sorry, I'm asking a lot of questions from you. Now this our company secretary's fees. I thought anyway with our what we collected from the directors, that we could manage his payment as well. It has not been.
I think Tusita, then we had planned it to pay out of our collection related to Slotty, and today, this morning, we got the 500,000 from Colombo Stock Exchange, and also we had kept another 400,000 from the slate. So with that, I think we have planned to pay him the part of that, and that will be a good news for Gopalan, and you will get the check in a day or two. That has been taken care of, not to
No,
worry.
but even from this one, because initially you were supposed to pay 13,000, we increased to 15. That is also to cover some of his expenses as well. If you just check.
Are you sure? I don't know. For me,
Yeah,
it was
I'm quite sure. I'm quite sure. You check the correspondence, past correspondence. It was 13.
Like, I mean, everyone has not contributed. Nemeki
Ah,
15,000. We can't force people to contribute. Thing, no. So now,
sorry. Okay, sorry. I didn't know that. I thought, okay, sorry. Then I didn't know.
Paid to the accounting company and, finish off. Then at least, that is a mandatory thing also, no?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
No, sorry, I didn't know about that. I thought basically
That's how it
everybody.
happened. Yeah.
Okay, sorry. Thank you.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Okay. Okay, thank you, Kirti. And I think any more questions from anybody? Thank you, Kirti, and thank you, Tusit Rohit, for your inputs. And shall I move on to the next in the agenda?
sharing. Make
Okay.
I would make the co-host.
Yeah,
Okay.
I make many people co-host. You also. And I'll make you host because I had to go out for a while and come back. Yeah.
No, still not. I have made Abbas the co-host.
No,
So-
I made you the host now.
Now okay.
Okay. I would like Ajit, I would like you to make the presentation of all the operational matters which we discussed. Take it off from the strategy we'll take later. I would like you to make a presentation on that.
Can you see this? Oh, Shari, can you see this?
Yeah, I can see. You can see.
This
I
is
can see.
only the operation part I am
Yeah.
discussing. Yes, to go through the three and what we did for September and what we have planned for October. So the World Food Program, we did three online programs based on Ampara, Matra, Trincomalee, and steering committee meeting also we had. And then the design series also happening for some selected food, the food items, all small people. And the discussions also we had with the universities and also regarding the certification, regarding the certification for the SMEs. And on your right side, you could see that it is the planned activities for October. We will have the close contacts with one university. Then the submission of headquarter reports is a very important thing that has been done. That's headquarters mean it directly goes to Rome, and then submission of other call, and they basically even though they give money all right, but they I think like to see that how it happens. And each and every very small matter also has been included. So that's in a way it's good because then nobody can say anything later. And we will have the meeting on 8th, but it's under control. Little bit is the Vanija.lk, and we are expecting the technical some upgrading from the guy is it's his Vishmita, yes, from that. And we have planned to do after 15th, if it further relax. At the moment only 15 participants are allowed, but we hope that on 15th it could be further relaxed. At least 40 we will be having the physical meetings in Nuwara Badulla Matale. It's toward the 4th week of October. Then we have the Sun Business Network, some good partners like Hemas, Cargill's, Manchi, Dialogue, and Apico, and also the Food City. So we have a discussion to bring them to the how to get these SMEs on the marketplace. So that's all about the World Food. And then the S4IG program. This is how it is happening. But I think I have done this slide. So we had one workshop online on 2nd of September. It's a course providers. That means there are a couple of reputed universities like Open University, Eastern University, Northwestern University. Those people to provide the business coaching programs. That we had a workshop. But then at end of August, but then again, some people couldn't come, and we had one because we had one in Dabulla that was physical, but since some missed it, we had to arrange another one. Then the evaluation committee consists of S4IG, where I am also a member. We got 6 proposals to develop strategies to market coaching as a and as a service. So these things like a steering committee also has been almost finalized and it's approved by S4IG. And then 4 district level meetings conducted with district chambers. We were getting the feedback, and licensing pathway, business plan development are also in progress, but that is the part of on the side of the S4IG, not ours. Then consultant for the MIS application, still it has to be rescheduled. Because no one has pitched for the TOR, then we managed to send a proper format for the applicant to do it. That's the way to do actually, but somehow it was not there earlier. And then we hold the staff meeting once a week. That also happening. And review meeting with the S4IG and us at the moment. They are very happy about the hours because there is no delay on our part. But if there is any delay, it's on the part of the S4IG due to the COVID and other issues. Then for the October, we had to basically do the selections for the consultant firms. And that's all. We very much depend on the S4IG because of the experience, and also they are the project creator for that. And I think we also have to say, using the common sense, whether these people, whether like it's basically fitting into us at once. But basically, those are the people who have worked for S4IG on many projects earlier. So I think it is always better to get some proven characters rather than going for totally new. And then we had to have some steering committee meeting with the course providers and to have a regional level industry discussions. Then design, registration, licensing process we have to further do. Then the business plan for coaching, that all will be done by the consultants recruited by the S4IG. And maybe the very important MIS application too will be that take place in the month of October. So those are basically only the operational matters and not strategic. It's a part of the project. And then for the 5th, together we can campaign we were doing, and this is the 4th one, and this is the 5th one. It will happen on 27th of October, and I request the board to once in a way, if you have free time to just join, where you can, if you are interested, we can send the link, and it's interesting and something really good. And I think we hope that with this, our standard, how the Sri Lankan private sector look at us has already been improved and upgraded. So because these are very novel subjects, and also for the some of the matters arising out of this, I have noted down to put into the budget proposals, which I am talking a little later. And so matters under strategy, I think, should I go ahead, Shirley?
Yes, yes, matters, yes.
Okay.
Better.
And the one thing is the new trade policy. I think since Kirti also explained, I am not going to do what it is, this and that, but we have to understand what we are going to write to the government is, we have to understand that, this is not happening in a vacuum. We have to understand what is happening in the world. There are certain China-backed trade deals coming up, and so how it would affect Sri Lanka, and at least we should be able to retain what we are exporting to China at the moment. 222 million we have done 2020, and the highest being the 417 million US dollars in 2017. That is the best year for us. But Chinese exports to us is 3.5 billion in 2020, all figures from UN Comtrade. And so how, whether these newly signed RCEP and other trade agreements, will they grab our market share, because they are also producing tea, they are also producing rubber, apparel, they have gem jewelry, they have cocoa peat, cocoa oil, everybody has everything. And so how we could basically, we have to see the threat. And then our Sri Lankan approach is basically, we have to have a very robust and practical approach, for the simple reason we are way behind to react. At least, even if you don't become proactive, just forget about it, at least to react to the happening in the world, we are way behind. And firstly, so what we are writing is, what we discussed at the strategy meeting is, first we have to retain. We expect the new trade policy will help Sri Lanka to retain our existing export market despite the free trade agreements coming into being. And then secondly, to increase export volume to these countries, especially to China and India. Then thirdly, to find out new export markets. So on this is the direction for the of the FCCISL, what we would like to see in the new trade. Okay. So there are key questions we have discussed at the strategy meeting. So these are very important. Sorry, the new trade policy should be very concerned about all these. I am not going to do everything, but all these are basically about the at the country level, how it should happen. I have at the request of the strategy, same day night, I actually circulated all these. Hope you all have gone